So welcome back to Lemon Cookie TV. Today I'm presenting you a game called Hunter Girls. The fine folks over at Meridian4 hooked me up with a free version of the game, so I thank them very much for that. And let's see what this game has in store. This is a 2D runner game. I think we should play. Full screen window, all the options here, and what is that? What's she pouring over herself? Is that beer? Oh, that's a lot of text. Holy mackerel. So, but anyway. For the third day, the mercenary warrior Agnes wandered through taverns and pubs without a job. Late in the evening, she stopped at an inn on the border of one kingdom. You must not be a local, the bartender said. How observant. You are, the tipsy blonde agreed. I suppose you're looking for a job? The warrior nodded. The bartender told the blonde that their beloved king had recently died and that his son Prince Alex was about to take the throne. But on the day of the coronation, a black whirlwind flew and carried the prince far to the east. And now my computer is starting to struggle a bit. Sorry for the little technical hiccup. I just closed the browser. So this is probably on me, not on the game. So where did we start? But on the day of the coronation, a black whirlwind flew and carried the prince far to the east, and therefore the chief minister announced a large reward to that daredevil who'll find the prince and takes him to the palace safe and sound. The size of the reward prompted Agnes to take on this task, and I also. I need a new sword. This one, Agnes patted the scabbard, is somewhat rusted. Well, a weapon worthy of you may be in the forest nearby, the bartender willingly told her. There have recently been all sorts of monsters divorced, and many daredevils tried to defeat them, but no one returned. The last one was Leroy Schultz, and he had a legendary sword with him. Is he German? But there are rumors that it did not help the hero, and that he died stupidly and talentlessly in the thicket of the woods. This is too much text. So, with the sword, it is clear. Agnes summed up the results. Tomorrow, I'll be setting out, having spent the night in a tavern. Early in the morning, the warrior said, so I think they should work on this. So, but most relevant part, of course, is the gameplay, and I like the 2D graphic. To jump, press spacebar to expose the shield, hold on C. I wasn't sure if I have to play this with the controller, but seemingly not, so I need C and spacebar. As this is a runner, so keeps on running. Ah, okay. And you get a pretty quick game over. To start over, press R. To exit menu, press escape. I like the music and the look. And we may need some tries here. So we need our sword here, our shield. Believe in the shield. So we cannot attack ourselves. We need the shield all the time. And what does that number in the bottom right corner mean? Is that how much damage we can take, or that's stamina, or what does it mean? Okie dokie, this is not too easy. I don't play games like that very often. I played that. I think these kind of games were very popular on smartphones. What does that 41 mean? Huh? Why did we start over again? Do we reach the next kind of... Somebody explain this to me. It's not... Oh my god. Will I ever get past that? Enemy? How am I supposed to not get hit? Can't get my can't get this. I already seem to be a little lost. Maybe I need to jump a bit earlier. Yeah, well, now I start speaking German. Shows you how tense this is. I'm a fan of hard games, so if you need to try one sequence over and over and over again, that's usually the kind of stuff that I can sink my teeth into. escalated quickly. Where is he aiming at? What the hell is going on? We get to read? Oh my god, it's too much text. You need to work on your presentation here. Agnes walked through the forest, having dealt with another enemy, and did not notice the trap. The warrior hooked a thread stretched between the trees and fell to the grass, losing her balance. This is the final version of the game, isn't it? Or is this an early access? I think this is the final product. Die, miserable elf. A copper-haired archer girl appeared in front of Agnes as if out of nowhere, holding the fallen one and her side of her bow. I'm not an elf, the warrior protested, but immediately the arrow sank into the ground, narrowly missing the girl's neck. I don't believe it, the redhead said. Show me your ear. Agnes realized that she had better not contradict the marksman girl. With a careful moment, she pushed aside a golden lock of hair so that her unexpected rival would be sure that Agnes's ear was ordinary, not pointed like all elves. The copper-haired girl, this is difficult even to read, it's too much text, lowered her bow. What are you doing in this forest? The archer asked in the same rude tone. I'm looking for Prince Alex, Agnes said, propping herself up on her elbows. He was kidnapped by a strange black whirlwind from the east. That's why I'm going there. At the mention of the black air vortex, the red-haired archer's face changed. It's Kelthram. She hissed. He killed my brother, and I will do everything to make this bastard pay. It looks like you and I have a common goal. I'm Agnes. The warrior held out her hand to the archer Kim. The redhead gave her a hand in response and yanked it. The story needs to be presented in a different way. But now we have two characters, and that may be the bottom line here. To shoot a bow, press X. Okay, they're both running. Only the other one can shoot. This is it's getting even more difficult, but we don't need to start over. We only have 4 arrows and oh my god, the arrows are just going straight line. Oh, this is oh, I need to, and both are not allowed to fall down. How is this supposed to be done? Oh my god, this is difficult. And what is that? This is too much multitasking for me. Now I used all the arrows. Need to be careful with that. This is really tricky, but makes your brain get into concentration mode. Oh my god. Is this a signal of getting old that I'm struggling with this, or is this just very difficult? C is the shield, so why? Okay. Oh my god, this is really difficult. I guess this game is supposed to be difficult, otherwise it would be too... you would be able to finish it too quickly. Okay, we are slowly but carefully improving. Sorry, I just looked at the second screen here. So we still have 1 arrow left, so we're... Can't keep the shield down all the time. 1 arrow left. Come on! Notice slowdowns, that maybe because my laptop is struggling a bit in general. It's not not necessarily the game's fault. Just want to make sure to state that again. But this is my fault. Also, you get the impression it's not impossible. So when I die, it's my own. Because I didn't play well enough. This is always important factor when it comes to difficult games. You must get the impression that it's still your own fault, which it is, because my reflexes are not good enough here. Am I doing bad, or is this just so difficult? I don't know how to get past this bow and arrow chick there. She hits me before I can even get my shield down. Let's try a few more times. Oh my god. Oh, I finally did it. Yeah, sometimes you reach a mode where you go on autopilot, and good that we don't have to start all over again. I just for a second didn't even notice that we did it. No, this is... We get new arrows. Your brain gets into autopilot and you get better at what you're doing. It's often the case when you play difficult games. Or games where you have to do the same thing over and over again. But you know, you're not allowed to make a single mistake, because it will usually be the end. But yeah, the next run just starts a second later. To shoot. No arrows left, no arrows left, no arrows left. Oh, do we need to read another brutal text? Brutally long text. The text itself is not brutal, but reading so much. Oh my god. Well, okay. Suddenly the forest ended, and Kim with Agnes went out into a clearing in the middle of which grew an old oak tree. It seemed to them that the tree was emitting a strange hum. Humana humana. The girls looked at each other and decided to split up and walk around the oak on both sides. Imagine their surprise when they discovered that the source of the monotonous sound was another girl with unusual purple hair sitting on the other side of the tree. Her eyes were closed and her hands were folded across her chest in a prayer gesture. How can she be so careless in these dangerous places? Must have thought each of our heroines. The answer to this unasked question came unexpectedly as soon as our travelers were about to utter it. The stranger girl suddenly abruptly spread her arms to the sides towards Agnes and Kim, and the girls were enveloped in a bluish radiance. The bow and the sword fell out of their hands. Don't be afraid, both of you, a melodious voice said, and the glow faded. I feel that you have no ill intentions towards me. The purple-haired girl rose easily. This is too much text. Again. I need a drink. So, picking up the staff lying next to her, and her large brown eyes cast a friendly look at the warrior first and then at the archer. I've been waiting for your appearing, Agnes and Kim, the sorceress said, with a smile. My name is Flora, and I'm ready to join you to rescue Prince Alex from the villain Kelthram. Flora? Agnes asked, confused, but why? The brown-eyed sorceress sighed, her cheeks flushed. But what she said was not what, as if not her own voice. And the prince is single then, what? What's going on here? Wait a minute. Kim interrupted her mockingly, already having raised her trusty bow. Stop composing, you fell in love with Alex. Flora blushed completely, but said nothing. Okay, we'll talk about that later, Agnes decided. The sword, meanwhile, unblinkingly returned to her hand. Thank you, Flora. The main thing is that we are together now. Let's go. Too much text. But now we have 3 characters. We got the sorceress, and to activate invulnerability to magic for all heroines, hold down Z. An elf mage cannot be killed with arrows, only magic, but you do not have such a spell yet. It's getting more complicated. The problem is, on an American keyboard, the Z is right next to the X and the C, but on an European keyboard, which I have, the Z is completely somewhere else, and I seemingly cannot change that. I need to change the keyboard layout to American style, otherwise this is getting even more difficult to play, because the Z in German is between the T and the U, and now this is getting really complicated. To have the buttons right next to each other, I guess. Okay, I can also use 2 hands. I think this is enough for a first impression. If you are into 2D runner games, and if you like what you've seen, maybe check it out. Before I continue, I need to change my keyboard layout to American layout. Yeah, as I said, I'm not a big fan of the presentation, of the storyline, but the gameplay itself, as a 2D runner game, certainly interesting if you're into that kind of gameplay. So, this is Hunter Girls, and I'll see you soon on LTV. My name is Michael. Have a good day. Bye bye.